Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video. Who is Dustin Phillips, Lulu's ex? Love's cruel fate. Meet the General Hospital hunk whose death paved the way for a Lanti reunion. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Wow, is it a relief that Lulu's not only awake on General Hospital, she's already reunited with Rocco and Dante. So far, they've just covered the basics of catching up, with Dante trying to keep what happened to Sam in saving Lulu's life under wraps. But the two did talk briefly about Lulu's one-time love who also died, Dustin. If you missed Monday's episode, you can check out the full recap here. General Hospital murder plot. RIP, spoiler. His proposal was one of the last things Lulu remembered before her coma. But if you're also having a bit of trouble remembering who he was and what happened, don't worry, we've got you covered. Dustin was played by One Life to Live alum Mark Lawson. This was back when Dante was battling PTSD and had left Port Charles and, eventually, Lulu. He served her with divorce papers and Lulu was left trying to pick up the pieces of her life without her husband. Maxie, of course, wasn't about to let her bestie sink into misery, so she pushed her to get out, have fun, and eventually start dating again. And that's where Dustin came in, a teacher and rideshare driver who kept popping up in Lulu's life. It started with Lulu investigating a criminal who used a dating app to lure folks away from their homes and then rob them blind. She used the app to go on a date with Dustin in the hopes of finding the robber's identity. Dustin, of course, was not the criminal, but the two ended up hitting it off. At the time, though, Lulu wasn't looking for love. They went their separate ways, then ran into each other getting drinks at an Aurora softball game, as Maxie hired him to drive her and Lulu to a softball game, and on and on. The two grew closer and ended up hopping into bed together when Lulu gave Dustin a tour of the haunted star. It wasn't long after that Dustin asked Lulu to move in with him, and things seemed to be going swimmingly, until Dante returned home. Lulu's feelings for her ex-husband still lingered, but that didn't stop Dustin from proposing to her at the Floating Rib, just before Cyrus' bomb went off. The explosion killed Dustin and gave Lulu the concussion that eventually sent her into a coma. Before falling unconscious, though, she decided that she still loved Dante and wanted to try things again with him. Sadly, she never got the chance, and she sunk into the coma that lasted until now. And that brings us to her reunion with Dante yesterday where, after a bit of work, she remembered everything leading up to the explosion, including Dustin's proposal. Whether or not Lulu and Dante end up getting back together still remains to be seen, but it doesn't seem like a coincidence that they both lost people they loved just after a proposal. That's something very few people have in common. It's almost like fate, or maybe Cyrus, is pushing them back together, albeit in a crueler way than we would have hoped.